Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Hamilton Police Service Investigative Services Division. My name is Marty Schulenberg. I'm the superintendent for the division here. Today, we will be providing all of you with an update on Project Sommes, which was a joint services investigation involving the Hamilton Police Service, the Peel Regional Police Service, the Waterloo Regional Police Service, the York Regional Police Service, Canada Border Services Agency, and the Criminal Intelligence Service of Ontario. This investigation was into a large-scale retail theft syndicate spanning across Ontario, Quebec, and until this week also into British Columbia. The investigation revealed a highly organized criminal group involved in retail thefts and trafficking stolen property. At this time, I'd like to bring up Deputy Chief, Hamilton Police Service, Ryan Diodati, to provide an overview.
Thanks, Superintendent. Today, I'm pleased to announce we have charged 21 individuals believed to be responsible for a large-scale and coordinated series of retail thefts across Ontario and Quebec. These offenses account for hundreds of incidents and have resulted in millions of dollars in losses to local businesses. This investigation has been both complex and far-reaching. It required the dedicated collaboration of multiple law enforcement resources, including intelligence and BEAR units, as well as our frontline officers who responded to many of these incidents. We also worked closely with neighboring police services and national retail partners. I want to emphasize, crime knows no borders, and neither does our collective commitment to stopping it. The arrests we are announcing today are the result of persistent teamwork, information sharing, and coordinated efforts across jurisdictions. Organized retail theft is not a victimless crime. It extends well beyond the businesses directly targeted. When retailers experience repeated losses of this scale, the effects are felt throughout the community, including through increased prices and reduced product availability. To the businesses, employees affected, we recognize the challenges you have faced, and we want you to know that your concerns have been heard. To the community, we remain firmly committed to ensuring your shopping environments are safe and that those who engage in organized criminal activity are identified and held fully accountable. And finally, criminals looking to target our community should think twice. You are not welcomed here. If you commit a crime in this city, we will track you down and bring you to justice. I would now like to invite Deputy Chief Mark Andrews from Peel Regional Police to say a few words.
Thank you, Ryan. Good morning. And thank you to Hamilton Police Service for having us here today. On behalf of Peel Regional Police, I want to begin by sending a clear message to our communities and retail partners. Organized retail crime is a serious threat, and we are fully committed to stopping it and holding those responsible accountable. Project Sommes reinforces a simple truth. Collaboration is our greatest strength. And this project is proof of what collaboration can achieve. Peel Regional Police is proud to partner with Hamilton Police, Waterloo Regional Police Service, York Regional Police Service, and our federal partners and other agencies in this significant investigation. By sharing intelligence, resources, we were able to dismantle a highly organized criminal network operating across 3 provinces. Through the course of this investigation, officers identified the region of Peel as a critical link in the trafficking network, with stolen goods being moved into the region and directly impacting local communities and business. This was not a small operation. It was a sophisticated distribution network, and Peel region was served as a major hub of its activities. These criminal networks do not respect local, provincial, or national borders. They operate across jurisdictions exploit gaps between agencies, and move stolen goods quickly and strategically. Our response must be equally coordinated, intelligence-led, and unified to effectively disrupt and dismantle these networks. I want to thank our frontline officers and investigators who played a key role in the execution of this project. Their vigilance, persistence were critical in identifying patterns, responding to incidents, and supporting the complex, far-reaching investigation. We will continue working closely with our retailers and industry partners to implement theft prevention strategies, including the region-wide retail enforcement blitz currently underway and the work of our community intervention and response teams, CERT for short, which is focused on disrupting retail theft and keeping our communities safe. Recent enforcement initiatives have resulted in dozens of arrests, warrants executed, and stolen property recovered, helping protect businesses and strengthen neighborhoods. These initiatives reflect our ongoing commitment to proactive enforcement, which will continue throughout the winter months. And we're not stopping there. In 2026, Peel Regional Police will host an organized crime retail theft conference, bringing together law enforcement, retailers, and industry leaders to share strategies, strengthen partnerships, and stay ahead of organized crime and manage the advocacy for better policy around this issue. To those who believe they can exploit our communities, think again. We will adapt, collaborate, and hold offenders accountable. Thank you. I will now turn it over to Staff Sergeant Shane Kavida.
Thank you, Deputy. Good morning. Project Sommes started in August of 2005 after we began seeing a growing trend in organized retail thefts across Ontario and Quebec. From there, we were able to identify persons of interest involved in extensive retail thefts at Shoppers Drug Marts across Hamilton. We began to look at individuals and began to investigate, and we realized that this was a well-established network and a criminal organization involved in large-scale retail thefts. They were trafficking stolen property going back to February of 2024. The primary group targeted multiple cities and regions, carrying out their offenses in a rapid blitz-style manner before moving on to the next location. Once the property was stolen from the retail locations, it was trafficked to an individual from Mississauga, and from there it was trafficked to a large-scale liquidation warehouse called the A&G Liquidations in Brampton. There were also other wholesalers and individuals where this merchandise was trafficked to. The investigators believe that the group is connected to hundreds, if not thousands of thefts in Ontario, Quebec, and British Columbia. On December 16th, 2025, the Hamilton Police Service, in assistance with the Peel Regional Police Service, Waterloo Regional Police Service, York Regional Police Service, executed 16 search warrants. 3 search warrants were executed on commercial properties, 6 residential search warrants, and 7 search warrants were conducted on vehicles. A total of 21 individuals were charged with 175 charges laid. There are still 2 individuals that are presently wanted, and warrants have been issued for their arrest. However, we believe that they are presently outside of Canada. Many of these individuals were already on bail for similar charges and were in fact wanted by several jurisdictions already. With that, I would like to pass it over to Dean Henrico, Senior Vice President of Asset Protection with Loblaw Companies, Ltd.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. On behalf of Loblaw Companies Limited and the broader retail community, I want to sincerely thank Hamilton Police Service, York Regional Police Service, Peel Regional Police Service, Waterloo Regional Police Service, and Vancouver Police Department, and all the other partnering agencies involved in this investigation. Organized retail crime is at unprecedented levels in Canada. The level of collaboration demonstrated by these police services here has been outstanding and clearly highlights the urgent need for a dedicated, organized retail crime task force in the province of Ontario. Organized retail crime has a significant financial cost in the billions of dollars annually for Canadian retailers. But more importantly, it affects the safety in our stores and our communities. Profits from these sophisticated criminal organizations are often used to fund other, much more violent criminal activity in our communities. We stand with police services in their critical work on organized retail crime and their efforts to reduce the impact on our communities, since the safety issues organized retail crime create and the costs associated with battling these organized criminal organizations affect all of us. The arrests announced today represent a major step forward in addressing these concerns. They send a clear message that organized retail crime will not be tolerated, and that retailers and law enforcement are united in our efforts to stop it. And let me be crystal clear, we will. We are committed to continuing our strong partnerships with all police services coast to coast across Canada, sharing information and investing in technologies and strategies to help deter theft in our stores and protect our staff, our customer, and ultimately our communities. To the investigators, the frontline officers, and everyone who contributed behind the scenes, thank you. Your work has had a meaningful impact.
Thank you, Dean. Project Sommes stands as a clear example of what is possible when policing evolves to meet the realities of modern-day organized crime. By leveraging intelligence-driven strategies, cross-jurisdictional cooperation, and the expertise of our partners here at the table, we successfully identified and disrupted a highly coordinated criminal network operating across 3 provinces. These arrests, as mentioned, send a strong message that organized retail crime is sophisticated, it's fast-moving, and increasingly international, but so are we. We will continue to adapt, innovate, and push forward to protect our communities and safeguard local businesses from those who profit through deception and exploitation. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you to our partners for continuing to stay ahead of evolving threats and delivering results that strengthen public safety. If there are any questions, we're now happy to take them. Thank you.
You mentioned that these were blitz style. Are you saying that these groups would go in during open hours and just kind of fill bags and run out, or would they go in the back when they were closed? Like, how would it work?
That's correct. During regular operating business hours, often filling bags that were designed to defeat security purposes. Didn't necessarily involve running out of the store, although in some instances I'm sure that occurred. I want to stress this is an ongoing investigation. This is certainly a time of year when retail activity is at a peak, and we were in a position to be able to stop it from getting any worse. And so this really is the beginning of many more investigations throughout at least the 3 provinces we've identified, and as mentioned by the staff sergeant, dating back to February of last year.
So they were trying to be undetected, you're saying? It wasn't, because we've seen videos online
Correct.
of people just filling up large bags and running out.
Correct. So not to be confused with smash and grab style jewelry break-ins or robberies of that nature. This is definitely an attempt to be covert, filling bags and using undergarments, etc., to be able to conceal the product and then leave the store.
Is this at Shoppers Drug Mart primarily, or other stores involved?
Primarily, there were other stores as well, but primarily Shoppers Drug Marts. Yeah.
Can you mention other stores?
I don't have all those stores in front of me. I would say that they represent a fairly small percentage of the overall total. The Shoppers definitely were the target of the investigation.
Do you have a total value of what was recovered?
So right now, we're still in the middle of that as we speak. We're going through all the property. We're actually assisted by the Loblaws staff to be able to go through and identify and put values on everything. We know it's going to be well in excess of $1 million, but we're talking wholesale, not retail costs at this point. And again, it's early in the investigation, so well over $1 million.
What kind of things did they steal?
So I'm going to ask Staff Sergeant Coveyduck to maybe answer some of the more operational questions.
Thank you. And to answer your question, yes,
they were primarily targeting Shoppers Drug Mart. They were stealing razors, cosmetics, creams, nicotine gum, for the most part.
And it looks like everything was kind of cataloged. I'm not sure if that's the police put within the bags, but you know, it was mentioned the scale of this operation in today's press conference. I'm hoping you can elaborate on that a little bit. Once the items were stolen, were they were taken to Mississauga, right? Were they cataloged there? Were they, or you know, were suspects given instructions on what to steal that day, or they kind of just take a random bag, bring it to the depot center, and somebody else, you know, handle the rest?
Yeah, it was very organized. So we had our crew of individuals who would actually commit the actual thefts themselves. From there, they would actually, for the most part, they would put the items in large gift bags. They would then traffic to that individual in Mississauga, and then from there, the third tier, at the highest level, was the A&G liquidations. And so we do have information that there was some direction as to what the A&G liquidation and some of the wholesalers wanted. They put a request out for some of the items that they would like to be stolen, and so our crew on the ground there would certainly select those items strategically.
And who did the wholesalers sell to?
The general public.
Quick question. Now, with you described this criminal organization, though, are they all together, for starters, and would you describe them as crime tourists? Because there seems to be, you know, a lot of Eastern European names there that have been known to commit retail thefts. I don't want to put, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if you can speak to that.
Yeah, they were all associated with one another in terms of family relatives, and close friends. I'm talking about the crew that were committing the thefts specifically. In terms of the individual from Mississauga, we're still investigating in terms of the link there and how they came to know that individual in Mississauga.
The maps that we're seeing up here, when they pop up, it seems to show a direct route of a car. Can you explain how that was done? Were you actually tracking the vehicles in real time?
Yeah, I won't get into specifically our investigative techniques that we used, but certainly we did leverage technology to assist us with our investigation, and it was certainly the collaboration partnerships with our policing and non-policing partners that allowed us to be effective in dismantling this criminal organization.
Still on the maps though, like, is it showing them they're doing all the stops in one day?
Yeah, so specifically the map, those are locations of interest near Shoppers Drug Mart, where we believed a theft may have been committed, and so that's what you're seeing on the map is stops where they actually attended, and we've sent and worked with Shoppers Drug Mart to share that information so they can do some work on their end to try to make linkages and solve those occurrences.
Okay, so it would be ineffective to say, like, here's what they did in one single day.
Exactly, yeah.
How does this kind of crime ring, I guess, or these thefts compare in size to other investigations that have been uncovered in Canada? Is it one of the largest? How significant is it?
Maybe we'll get the superintendent to answer that question.
Thank you. Very good question. I can tell you that it's not normal for police services to engage in large retail theft investigations. Typically, our focus is often diverted towards crimes of violence and things of that nature in terms of the complexity and the amount of resources required. But as mentioned by Dean Enrico from Loblaw Group, certainly this is something that we're seeing as an increasing threat. The impacts for retail theft extend far beyond just the loss to the retailer themselves. There's definitely impacts around organized crime, the violence, and the associated offenses that occur when individuals leave the offense. There could be driving offenses, things of that nature as well. So it is certainly something that is on our radar, and as Deputy Andrews announced as well, next year we look forward to collaborating even further with stakeholders to ensure that we respond effectively to stem this growing organized crime.
Were stolen vehicles used in all of these?
So what I can tell you is that the vehicles that were searched, we've actually seized 6 of those vehicles as offense-related property. We do believe them to be involved in relation to the offenses. They were not stolen at the time, but that investigation is ongoing, and we do have grounds to seize those as vehicles that were related to the offense itself, and so the allegation is that the profits from the offenses actually are related to the vehicles themselves.
Was anyone hurt in these thefts?
Not that we're aware of at this time.
All right, so they basically went in, filled up these secretive bags, and walked out quietly without any kind of altercation?
For the most part, but again, this is an evolving investigation. I will actually add one qualifier. As recently as 2 days ago, 2 of our suspects did leave the province, went to British Columbia, and as we liaised with Vancouver Police, we did determine that there was an altercation there with an individual. We're still looking into that, so I can't provide too many details, but as I said, often with organized retail theft, there's definitely an interest in the suspects to get out of the area, and whatever that looks like could involve altercations with security staff, other members of the public, or driving offenses. So that's something that we're aware of.
Where are these people from?
The individuals that were arrested, so there's 21 different people arrested. Most of them were living in and around the Hamilton area, and then they moved into the Peel area. And again, we've got individuals that were living in the Halton area, the Peel region, and from Hamilton.
What is the CBSA piece in this? Sorry to be late to the point.
Sure. So we're working closely with the CBSA around what the status is of all the individuals at this point. That's definitely something that is within the auspices and authorities of the CBSA, and we work very closely with them, as we do on many investigations, to share information and make sure that we're strategizing on not just the municipal but provincial and national level around security of our economies.
If they were mostly living in this area, Golden Horseshoe, can you explain why they were going to Quebec?
So I will characterize the group as very transient in nature. And when we first discovered them operating here in Hamilton, within approximately a month and a half, they all moved to the York region. And so that's why we
Houses.
moved the residences, correct, yes, to York region. And so we had to enlist the support of other police services because it was just not effective or efficient for us to be able to continue that investigation from Hamilton. And certainly that's the nature of this dynamic of criminal organization, is that they're very transient in nature.
Last question, for me anyway, is that, okay, you know, you guys have done great jobs. Who's closest to retirement here? But you guys have done a great job on this, but the way the system has been working, I mean, how many of these people are out on bail now?
So that's an excellent question. There's no doubt that the strategies that have typically been employed in relation to retail theft have not been effective. Deputy Andrews mentioned this as well. But we have the fortune of having a very good working relationship with the Ministry of the Attorney General. And in Hamilton, we, working closely, have been able to take a lot of these charges from other jurisdictions, and we will be laying them here in Hamilton, as opposed to a piecemeal approach. Approximately 1 week ago, 2 of our main targets were arrested in another municipality and were released within 12 hours of arrest. And that's as a result of the piecemeal approach. So taking an organized crime approach, we have, in fact, proceeded with charges in relation to participating and operating in a criminal organization that will, in our view, be the difference maker in terms of ability to detain and hold them properly accountable.
Thank you.
What's
Any
that?
charges against the shop owner in Brampton, the liquidation center?
Sorry, what are the charges?
Any charges there against the owner?
Yes, there are charges there as well. I believe it's in the media release. Sorry, I don't have them right in front of me here, but there are a number of charges. Yes.
Was it a legit business?
The business was legit, and that's also a good question. It's important to note that there was legitimate business going on there as well as illegitimate, the extent to which is still part of the ongoing investigation.
With the bulk of the products coming from Shoppers Drug Mart that you know of, will these other companies and their products, will that be returned to them? Do you know who these other retailers are or companies whose products have been stolen?
Yes, so in terms of the return of the product, we do have to ensure that there's an appropriate link to be able to prove. Some of these products have a shelf life, they expire, they're perishable by nature, face creams and things of that nature. And so working very closely with Dean and his team, we are returning product as quickly and as promptly as we can and able to enable them to return it to the appropriate marketplace. Are there any other questions?
How did you come up with the name of the project? Because that's a French word. Just curious.
So that was the lead investigator. I don't know the background, but I'm sure he'll share that with you. Sorry, I don't have it at the tip of my fingertips here. The lead investigator came up with the name. I want to thank everybody for coming today and wish you all the best in the holiday season. Thank you.